Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful February 6th, 2024. Coming up this Tuesday, Rant, Identity Rules for Alberta, and more liberal outrage, of course, the outcome of people speaking their minds and people trying to really protect children and not mold them into pieces of clay. All that more coming up this Tuesday, Rant. Listener viewer discretion is advised. I might smoke cigarettes. I might swear. Who knows? Stick around.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do another exciting Tuesday rant for the 6th of February, 2024. And this podcast is also brought to you in part and supported by the Veterans for Freedom Network. That's right. Stand to Veterans for Freedom. Stay tuned for more information later on in regards to Veterans for Freedom Television. Hello, everybody. I am your host, Crusty Canuck. Hope you've all had a great week since my last episode. And I want to say a special thank you out there to some new viewers that have come all the way from Wales and Ireland. Well done. Thank you very much. I'm glad I reached out to you and you watched my show. But please, if you see me on the tube or on Rumble, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me some comments, help the algorithm go here, and help us Canucks, all Canadian podcasters out there, get our words out before the government wants to censor more of it. That's right, too. And you can also find my podcast on Podbean, Rumble, Spotify, Amazon, Supercast, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podchaser, and Apple too, if you so desire. Or just type in the Crusty Canuck podcast in your address bar on your computer, and you'll find many outlets that carry it for me. So anyway, carrying on like this episode, like I mentioned in the title card. That's right. Identity rules for Alberta and more liberal outrage. Now, I don't have any footage. There's lots of footage out there, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to this whole identity thing. You've heard me ramble on numerous times in regards to the trans issues and trans rights. Yes, trans rights are human rights because they're human beings that deserve the same rights as what you and I do. But what I don't tolerate, and I don't care what the algorithm says about this, I don't care who censors this, whatever, you, my wonderful viewers, I want you to think for yourselves and make formulated decisions based on what you think, not what others think, okay? I personally don't care how you live your life. You go ahead and live your life to the best of your ability, to the best way you want to. Just when you're on that journey, do not hit people and take their stuff. Now, with all this controversy going on here, especially here in Alberta now, okay, our premier, Danielle Smith, took it upon herself with her party to make some more rules for kids. Okay. Not rules to harm, not rules to hurt anybody, not rules to thwart anyone's decisions, but to stop an onslaught. Okay. Now, regardless of how you feel about the identity politics that's been going on today, we got to leave kids alone. It's that simple. Okay. We got to stop hurting children here, because when I see all these politicians, the Mayor Nenshis and the Rachel Motley-Notleys and the Janice Irwins and all these other woke individuals sitting here saying, we got to protect kids. We really have to protect children. Where the hell were you people during the pandemic? When you talk about protecting people, where were you? Eh? You'd sooner see a little boy, a little girl with a mask on her face like this, asking to go play outside and hang out with their friends, but they couldn't do it because of safety. So where were all these individuals then protecting these kids? Where were they? Where are these individuals protecting kids when they were told, based on ridiculous municipal bylaws and provincial laws and the federal laws, who was protecting kids then? Right? Now, if you are a young man or a young woman, you have to be watching this podcast. Okay, I'm not going to tell your parents to leave the room like Justin Trudeau did a few years back. Okay, I want you to listen. Okay, it does suck being a teenager. It does. We've all been through it. It doesn't matter what decade. It doesn't matter if you grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2010s, even if right now. It's not easy. Okay, it's not supposed to be easy. It's one of the first stepping stones of life to test your mettle, to test your guts, to get out there, to learn how to make proper decisions, to formulate good decisions and make good decisions, hopefully, that won't affect you the rest of your life. Okay? And if you're one of these individuals that has a hard time understanding who you are in here, there's people out there that can give you a hand without wanting to cut or slice or dice or cut you up like a goddamn doll. Okay? I'll let you know the story here, folks. When I was a little boy, when I was just a wee lad, yes, of course, yes, I used to play dolls with my sisters. I did. Oh, my God. Did that turn me into a homosexual? No. That make me effeminate? No. That make me a little odd? Well, it wasn't dolls that made me odd. It was life. But I digress. It didn't matter. Playing is playing. When you're a little kid and you're playing with toys, you're exploring things, you're doing things, you're just being a kid. Okay. Now, I'm all for anyone speaking their mind, protesting this, protesting that. That's fine. But as I said numerous episodes before, you're seeing the contrast here, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to people that protest this fight and protest that fight and go here and go there and say these words and tell the words, right? And constantly feel threatened when you challenge the narrative. Now, if a young man is having a hard time trying to figure who he is, then the best thing to do is to encourage and coach that person to the best of your ability. Same as a young woman, if she's having a hard time trying to figure who she is. But I am in all agreement when it comes to the government stepping in saying, hey, no, you can't cut up your children, and teachers back off. Okay? Really? Can you go to the store at 12 years old and buy a pack of these? Can you go to the liquor store and get a 6-pack of Bud Light and watch the game with your old man? No. Can you vote? Right? Can you get a tattoo? Some cases, some teenagers have done that. Yes, that's understandable. But legally speaking here. Now, I'm not saying this is not an anti-trans podcast by any means. I'm not anti-trans. I'm anti-bullshit. Okay. I'm anti-tyranny. I'm anti-government overreach. I'm anti-take the narrative or else. Right? And all these wokies out there think they're protecting kids. I'll ask you again, where were all you aficionados and protectors and guardians of the truth? Where were you during the pandemic when a lot of kids were locked inside, or kids were threatened, or when young men and young women are out playing hockey and they were threatened by the police services? Where were you then? Right? Something to think about, right? Something to really think about. But then again, a lot of this is a toting of virtue. We have to leave kids alone. Let them grow and decide who they are. It doesn't matter if they turn out gay. It doesn't matter if they turn out straight. It doesn't matter if they turn out bisexual or if they turn out abstinent. Who cares? Who cares if they turn in anything? Just let them grow and decide for themselves without the undue pressure. Because when you go under these hormones, you're basically on these drugs for life. When you get sliced and diced, you will reach an age. At some point, you will reach at some point in your life, you will regret those decisions because there are some females out there that want to have children later on. There are some males out there that decide they want to have children too. And they can't do it with a fake appendage. They can't do it with a fake entry. They may look the part. They may present the part, but are they the part? That's the thing. Chances are most of these individuals that do turn into women, some of them do regret it because they might have been gay. Okay. And all this crap about words or violence and saying boo here and boo there. No, that's not violence. Just because someone disagrees with your life choices doesn't make it violent. It means they disagree with your life choices. Yes, some people can be assholes, ladies and gentlemen, but we got to stop catering to the assholes and start being good to people yet again.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Tuesday rant with the Crusty Canuck. That's right, this beautiful 6th of February, 2024, episode 260. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. And just a reminder, too, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe and share this podcast all over your social media platforms. Please share, comment, like, thumbs up everywhere on Rumble, the Tube, Facebook, everywhere you see this podcast. Please get the algorithm going, get the message out there, whether you agree or disagree. If you disagree with me, my contact information is in the description, and you can debate, send me an email, whatever you want, arrange a debate, and I will gladly debate with you too. My friends at the Veterans for Freedom Network have set up channels for debate on any member of that group, and I will be a member of them shortly too, once they get the Veterans for Freedom television up and running too. And one of the founders of Veterans for Freedom, he starts calling certain veterans Bolsheviks or Bolshevets. It's quite entertaining. I just watched the live stream tonight, and it was really, really good how he dissected this guy that wanted to engage him in debate, and Buddy didn't show up to his debate. So that shows you what kind of the people that we are dealing with, regardless of if you're a vet or not. Okay. And to make a long story short, if you got something to say, say it. If you want to engage me in a conversation, by all means. I try to keep my channels open as best as possible. But if you're going to promote some kind of proletariat and some kind of democratic socialist front, jog on. Because I don't have time for any kind of Marxist doctrine. I don't. Because you look at the history of a guy named Karl Marx. Okay. He was born rich, silver spoon in his ass in his mouth, spent all of his family's money, spent all of his friends' money, slept with many women, and he died a very, very unhappy guy. But I guess his philosophy was second to none, right? Yeah, kind of self-explanatory. Anyway, I digress here too. And if you're worried about what's on my face here, I'm trying to grow my beard out again too. The goatee is okay, but I'm trying to grow my beard out again, and I might even it off. I don't know. Just get the whole aesthetic thing going on there. But never mind. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this episode of the Tuesday Rant, identity rules for Alberta and more liberal outrage. So, of course, you're seeing our opposition. You're seeing the liberals lose their mind because they're worried about kids' rights, and they're worried about the identities, and they're worried about everything else. Now, this is my point of view on that, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's going to lose their rights. Okay. In fact, I think this whole movement, and what it is a movement. It's a trend. It's a movement. The people that I have talked to, there's two people in my life that I have had some really good conversations with, and they are trans, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to mention their names because I protect their privacy and their respect of their privacy. But they personally told me that they turned and they transitioned on their own terms. Okay. They were never coached. They were never encouraged to do it. They actually had quite a bit of resistance to do it too. But their families respect them and love them just the same. And of course, there are a lot of diehards out there saying, well, if you disagree with this, you just don't love children. We were all children at one time. I love my nieces and nephews. I don't have any kids of my own, but I do respect kids, and I respect their right to explore and to ask and to be curious and to grow in a wonderful, safe, and loving home without any coercion, without any convincing, and without teachers influencing their decisions. Educators are supposed to educate, not indoctrinate. Educators are supposed to show you how to read and write, how to comprehend words without getting upset over words like some of these people do. Okay. And I mean people in general, not just trans activists or this activist. I mean, there's a certain generation gap there where people get scared over the word boo. They think it's violent. Crack don't smoke itself, right? But when you look at some of these leaders in these movements, what exactly are they leading these kids to? What exactly are they leading our politicians to? It's more than obvious, ladies and gentlemen, these politicians are only standing up for the sake of the virtue to win votes, right? Because I've proven to you in my show, and there's other podcasts out there too, that have proven to you, you wonderful people, my wonderful audience, that they don't care about you and I. Their bottom line is their carbon taxes. Their bottom line is their virtue, and to sit in Parliament for their 4 years, collecting a fat paycheck, fat perks, and having a tax-free lifestyle. Okay. Now, I didn't queue up any videos for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to get out there, get this information off my chest, and you, my wonderful audience, you decide. I will leave some links in my description for you to follow to formulate your own decision, submitted for your approval, right? And you just go from there. Whatever happened to just growing up and enjoying your life, right? I went to school with some people that turned out to be gay. Great. Who the hell cares? Is it a big deal? Not necessarily. Does anyone care? No. And I remember being 17, 18 years old, clowning around with some of my buds, putting on the lift, talking like this, talking like that, just carrying on. And then whatever. It was humor. It wasn't meant to hurt anybody, harm anybody. It wasn't meant to ridicule. It was just, hey, humor. Some of those individuals have come back to me and they've talked to me and they've asked me what I thought about all this trans stuff. And I said, well, it's an abomination how they're treating children. I said early in the episode, I don't care how you live your life as long as you decide to do it for you. You do you. But forcing this issue on kids, forcing these issues, and then the government stepping in and saying, hey, enough of this stuff. You can transition when we think you're old enough to do it. You can do this, but we're not going to make you take pills. We're not going to make you whatever. If you identify this, then you got to let your parents know, because parents have a say in your life until you leave the nest. Parents have a say in your life, and the state has no place trying to control that. So in a way, Miss Smith is standing up for that. Good for her. And then all these people that outrage, and oh my God, we're standing up for rights. No, you're not. You're standing up for special treatment. You're standing up for special rights. Okay. You have the right to change. You have the right to be yourself. You have the right to do what you want to do. You have the right to sleep with whom you want to do. You have the right to be what you want to be, but you don't have the right to force it on others. You see what I'm getting at here? Right. But still, you can see the old Marxism and the old socialist idea and the old contagion oozing out of the woodwork. Ugh.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you are back to the Tuesday Rant with Crusty Canuck for this 6th of February, 2024, episode 260. Welcome back, all. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. And as I was saying earlier, I don't care how you live your life. Do it well. Do the best of your ability, as long as you're doing it in your own terms. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, no kid is born in the wrong body. There might be an exception. Dysphoria is real. And I've talked to a few people who've had siblings who have gone through dysphoria. And the best they can do is just stand by and let them go through it. Dr. Jordan Peterson said, life is suffering. Yes, it is. Doesn't matter what profession you get into. Doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a boiler maker. It doesn't matter if you're a plumber. It doesn't matter if you're a surgeon. It doesn't matter if you're a foot doctor. It doesn't matter if you're an interpretive dancer or a soldier. Life can be suffering. Especially if you're a musician, life can be suffering. If you're an artist, if you're a writer, if you're a podcaster, life can be suffering. But it is up to the individual to find that light in the manufactured darkness to move ahead. Okay. The only thing I can honestly wish for children today is that they try to have a good go trying to figure shit out. It doesn't matter if they're gay. It doesn't matter if they're straight. It doesn't matter if they're bi. It doesn't matter if they're abstinent. It doesn't matter at all. Okay. And if an individual generally feels that he or she is in the wrong body, then there's things out there that can help you get there without jacking yourself up with hormones, jacking yourself up with other chemicals, and having people lie to your face all the time in the name of wokeness, in the name of inclusion and diversity. How about fucking humanity? Okay. When I look at some of these wokies out there, all these activists who say they're doing this for the benefit of this, are they really doing the benefit of children? Or are they doing it for the benefit of themselves? Right? Let's change and mold and alter things, right? Let's make more women sterile. Let's make more men impotent so they can't breed or procreate. Let's mold society and change society and create a new gender for what? Art? longevity, peace of mind. How about bullshit? Right? I want to see kids grow up to be kids, or not grow up to be kids. I want to see kids grow up to be functioning adults. My apologies. I would like to see kids just be kids, do their thing, and when they hit their teenage years and they decide who they are or decide what they are, then they can grow into whatever they want to grow into without any help from the state or the administration. Let mom and dad decide, or dad and dad decide, or mom and mom decide, or let the guardians decide how it works too. Because if I come across an educator that thinks they have the answers, then I want to see that educator have a child psychology certification too. So they can justify that behavior, so they can justify that promotion. They can justify that indoctrination. And if they don't, then they've got no business telling you or I what to do. It's that simple. They've got no business telling little kids that little Billy should be Betty and Betty should be Billy. You know what I mean? It's scary times ahead, ladies and gentlemen. And we got to stand ready for it.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back once again to the Tuesday Rant, ladies and gentlemen, with the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 260 of the podcast. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. And once again, if you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe and share this podcast all over your social media platforms too. This part of the episode, I would like to say that I am trying to make some cash, ladies and gentlemen. So if you would like, there is a poll on my YouTube page. Please answer the poll and comment accordingly too. If you like and hear, we would like to see more from the Crusty Canuck podcast, please add that to the poll if you can. If you hear some background noise, my wife just got home from work. Anyhow, needless to say, I answer the polls. And if you do want to donate to the podcast, use the Buy Me a Coffee app. Every $10 you spend gives you an automatic entry to win something from my store. A t-shirt, a hat, a flask, some Gucci kit, whatever you like to do. That is not a problem. I don't mind. But please consider donating $10 a month, and you'll automatically be entered to win some Crusty Canuck swagger. So there'll be more details coming in the future in regards to that too. I'm just at a point in this podcast where I'd like to make some money. I do put some work into this, so it's not like I just sit here and go blah, 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 blah. I'd like to think I earn your respect. I am grateful for the subscribers I have, and I'm also grateful to the audience that has grown for this show for the past 4 years, past 5 years, to be honest with you. And I'm really, really fortunate, but I really got to start making some secondary income with this, please, too. So please consider donating if you can. Links will be in the description. And if you want to write me a letter or send me some swagger or send me some Gucci stuff, my mailing address is in the description as well, too. Anyway, enough of that. So we'll carry on with this episode. My final thoughts would be this. Let's just do what we can to be good. Let's just do what we can and learn how to tolerate certain insignificancies. Let's just do what we can to tolerate the best we can and just stand up for what's right. Personally, again, I will reiterate, I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're bisexual. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. You live your life to the best of your potential and to the best of your ability. But don't be forcing your idea on little kids that can't decide for themselves. Bill Maher made a comment, if you dress up as a pirate, does that mean mom and dad's going to cut your leg off and give you a false eye? Well, no, of course not. Because when I was 6 years old, I thought I was the $6 million man, right? Identified as the $6 million man. Does that mean my parents were going to cut off my legs, give me robotic legs and a robotic arm and a false eye? No. They let me be creative and let me be imaginative. That's what we got to do for kids, ladies and gentlemen. Let them be creative, let them be imaginative, and just let them grow up. It's that simple, without trying to alter and mold them and change them. It's that simple, folks. It's that simple. Once again, thank you out there, my new subscribers too, especially my new listeners in the UK, in Wales, and in Ireland. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for you wonderful people out there too. And I'm seeing more and more Americans, especially from the southern United States, downloading my show. Thank you very much to all my new subscribers this week, especially my Podbean application. So please keep those downloads going. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, by all means, my contact information will be in the description. So don't be shy. Okay. Anyway, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 6th of February, 2024. I wish nothing but good things for you all out there, and to do the best you can with what you got. And remember, humanity and merit wins the day. I will try to see you this weekend sometime, and there'll be more updates as we speak. So check out my update column, and keep your wits about you. Never mind about the dog. Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
And show you my cooch for $6.99. No, I'll pass. Thanks. Okay.